Well, thanks for joining with me. Today I want to talk about inspiration of the Word of God that we have in our Bibles. As a missionary church, we would proclaim that we believe in the infallibility and the inerrancy of the Word of God, meaning it doesn't contain any errors and it's incapable of containing errors. And so why do we say that? Well, there's many reasons, but maybe the most prominent one to point out would be like Matthew 5:18. Where it's proclaimed that before heaven and earth pass away, not a single iota or dot will pass away from the law. Or if you're familiar with the King James or New King James, it would be no jot or tittle will pass away. And what is it being spoken of there? Well, the iota is the smallest letter in the Greek alphabet. If it's Hebrew, it would be the yod. So it's saying that not the smallest letter will pass away from the law before heaven and earth pass away. The dot or the tittle, as we look at it, would be the smallest stroke of the pen that distinguishes one letter from another letter. And so if we think in the terms of American alphabet, you could think of it the little stroke that distinguishes the capital Q from the capital O. So God's saying that not the smallest letter of the law is going to disappear, or the smallest stroke of a pen that distinguishes one letter from another. So again, quickly to go back to the English equivalent, smallest letter, maybe letter I you could think of, and the stroke of the pen could be the little, part that's the hump on the top of the N, or the bottom of a U, or the stroke that distinguishes the Q from the capital O. So you say none of these things are going to pass away. And so because that's the inspiration that God says that I've declared this is this important to humanity, that not any of these things are going to be able to pass away, that you can have assurance of what I said. Now in future videos, we'll cover some things that some of you might be thinking in your minds right now of saying, wait a minute, why do we have all these different English translations then? Or wait a minute, in the margin of my Bible it says some manuscripts say this. It seems like there's been some jots and tittles that have been messed with here. We'll talk about those and why we can still have assurance of what we have is written from God in future videos. But for now, I wanted to just tell you why we believe in the inerrancy and infallibility of the Word of God. And why is this important? Well, we read in very important things in the Bible, right? We read of God's heart and what He requires of humanity. We read of Jesus just explaining that He is the way, the truth, and the life. The Bible contains errors, and how would we ever know that those things are true? What if those were the errors? Now, we don't believe in the inerrancy of the Bible and the infallibility of the Bible because we want to have assurance that these things are true, and what would we do if they weren't? What I'm saying is God's declared that His Word contains no errors, and it cannot contain errors. Therefore, we can trust what it says. So in the future videos, we'll cover some of the areas that might be hiccups to this. And what does He mean by law? Doesn't He just mean the Old Testament stuff? Why am I giving New Testament illustrations? So, more can be said on this, more will be said on this, but for now, let's just leave it at that.